Hello, my name is Mercury, and welcome to this brand new episode of Media Buffet. Today, I am alone and I'm discussing the first book of Dota Dragon's Blood, aka the first season of Dota Dragon's Blood. What the fuck is Dota Dragon's Blood, you might be asking yourself, and guess what? It is a valid question. If you guys don't know, and I'm guessing you don't, I'm going to be doing a watch through of every single video game adaptation from 2021 to 2023. Not watch on, like watch through. Yeah, I said watch through. I'm sorry if I'm out of it. For most of the episode, it is currently almost 1 a.m. and when I finish this episode, it's probably gonna be 1 a.m. I don't think this episode will be particularly long. I don't have a lot to say about this series, about this specific thing, this specific season of this television show. To be completely honest, I just don't have a lot to say. But you know, I'll talk about some things. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing a watch through of every single video game adaptation from 2021 to 2023. Since 2024, I've already done a watch through of all of them. Of course, 2025 is gonna be going through the next few. It's gonna be going through, There's gonna be like the new stuff. Obviously, we are way behind on that stuff, but that's still gonna be some new stuff. That's still gonna be new. It's gonna be episodes we're gonna cover later down the line. So that's it's gonna be covered at some point. We're not gonna go back to it. I mean, we are. We're definitely going back to it, but whatever. They're new episodes. You get what I mean. But yeah. And the first one is Dota Dragon's Blood. This specific season came out in 2021. And also, the reason why it's 2021 is because that's when we started the podcast. So, yeah, and obviously we're doing every single video game adaptation, like it's a movie or show, whatever. That's coming out, right? So might as well just go back and do all of them. After this one, it is specifically going to be... I think after this one, it is going to be Mortal Kombat 2021. So, yeah. That's going to be fun to do. Because I've not rewatched that movie since it came out, and I enjoyed the second one. I think I don't know. I haven't talked about it because that movie came out during the hiatus. I enjoyed the second Mortal Kombat movie more than the first one, but that we'll get to talking about the second Mortal Kombat movie. We'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, we'll get there. Anyways, so Dota Dragon's Blood. I watched this shit back in April. I watched this during the hiatus. And I don't remember much of it. I really don't. That's a Velden Lombax? Oh my fucking god, bro. Never mind. 5 months watching TV. Yeah. And I gotta preface this with something I gotta say. For a lot of these reviews, I'm gonna be upfront and say that I haven't played the games. I mentioned earlier in like some earlier episodes that I'm gonna go through and play this every game series that I cover through this. It gives them more episodes and more shit to do, but that's more money I have to spend on games. I mean, not with current development times on games, like, Yeah, no, I don't remember much, and it looks like through, and I have a good thing. I do reviews now, which you can check out in the description below. I do reviews now on everything I watch. So yeah, um, mainly because to get something out there, and also so I don't forget shit. So I don't just forget shit because it's been 4 months. It's been a little under 4 months since I finished this show. And yeah, it's certainly something. It's certainly something. Okay, yeah, what was I saying? I'm gonna go through and play through every single game that I cover, like that every adaptation that I cover, I'm gonna cover the game of. Which is fine. Which is fine. Which is fine. It's good. That's fine. That's. I mean, a lot of games. All these games on like go on sale pretty often since they're kind of old. So yeah. And I think I mentioned that how I'm gonna do like games that I can't play. So for example, I can't emulate PS2 games currently. So a lot of PS2 games I'm not gonna be able to play. So wherever it's applicable, I'll be doing the remakes of those games. So for example, I can't play Silent Hill 2. I know it's fucking weird, right? I can't play. I'm gonna be talking. Return to Silent Hill came out. That's gonna be something we're gonna cover there down the line in the podcast, and that means I'm gonna have to play through Silent Hill games, and also that means that Townfall is gonna be covered as a new type episode whenever that comes out. Just letting you know, that's gonna be an episode that we're gonna cover. So. Yeah. That's gonna be through every game, and currently Silent Hill, I can emulate the first Silent Hill game because that was a PlayStation game, but I can't emulate the sequel. I can't emulate Silent Hill 2, so I'm gonna replace it with the remake. For now, whenever I get the chance to actually play through Silent Hill 2, I will do it. Like, it's not gonna be like, I'm not gonna do an episode of Silent Hill 2 forever. No. I count remakes as their own games. I don't want to like. I don't know. I don't like that to just replace. I replace it because I need to, because I kind of need to, more than anything. So yeah, there's that. And that's all to say that that's all to say. I haven't played Dota. I'm probably never gonna play Dota. I don't think I have a PC that can handle Dota. If I do, then I don't care. It's a fucking multiplayer game. And one of the things I've said, not said, but kind of like promised myself, is that I wouldn't I wouldn't really make episodes on multiplayer games. Not a lot of them, unless I really want to. Because like I don't care. I don't care. What are the specs? 4 RAM, 60 gigabytes of space. Nah. Nah. Artifact's still a thing. Really? Anyways, yeah. I'm probably not gonna be able to play Dota 2. Or probably never gonna play Dota 2. To be completely honest. I just don't care. I just kinda don't care enough, and I don't have a PC to do it. My PC, my laptop has 4 gigabytes of RAM, which would be enough to run that game and quite a bit of other games actually. But I don't think it has 60 gigabytes of space. That's something it doesn't have. So yeah, there's that. I need to grab my USB stick because I want to move some videos on there. I have a 32 gigabyte USB stick that I'm gonna use 2. There it is. To keep some episodes on there, so it's not just like clogging up my own laptop. Did I close all the tabs there? Nope. Okay. But yeah, I said it was gonna be long, and then I'm taking 10 minutes explaining shit. Let's just get into the actual thing. I want this episode to be like 30 minutes long, but it doesn't look like that's gonna be the case. Unless I really speed through it, and I don't wanna rush anything. My god, bro. Get in. Get oh my god. Let's just get into it. Let's just get into it. As always, we already start off with the animation and action. It's all fine. It's really all just fine. Again, I don't remember much about the fucking show, to be honest. Where the fuck is this plug, bro? There it is. What I can say that's on my review is that the action's fun. Action's fine. I like it's entertaining enough. Yeah, I mean, it's not like, I don't think it's like the biggest strong suit. It's not gonna sell the show to you, but it's gonna keep you at least somewhat entertained throughout. So you're not like dying, pretty much. I now have to find my fucking thing. Here it is. That's a PNG file. I'll just grab these and put them in here. Don't copy. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, no, it's fine. The show does a very interesting mix of 2D and 3D animation that I admire. I don't think it's done terribly, but I admire it. Since it's done in a way that doesn't intrude on each other. Like, the show is mostly done in 2D. But certain elements like some big fights, and not some big fights, some like more intricate designs that they have, like the dragons and Davion's like dragon-like form. I think it's like some of them. Sometimes the dragon-like form. Sorry, is sometimes done in 2D and sometimes done in 3D. What the fuck? I know it kind of sounds like I'm saying that the cool thing they did with mixing 2D and 3D is that it looks good, but a lot of shows don't manage to do that. Like, for example, this, like, even using the same studio, this show was made by Studio Mir, or Mir. I'm not sure how you say it, but this is the same studio that animated both X-Men 97 and Devil May Cry. And specifically with Devil May Cry, you kinda notice how different it is. Gonna be real. You kinda notice it. It's sad. I think it's sad. I know. But that's just the reality of it. It doesn't look that good. But for some reason, Dota Dragon's Blood does look good. Like, it looks good and presentable. I gotta say. So yeah. Like, in comparison to Devil May Cry specifically, not X-Men 97, I think X-Men 97 looks miles better than Dota Dragon's Blood. But Devil May Cry has like the 3D and 2D mix, and it just doesn't go well. I know I talked about Devil May Cry a few months ago, but I'm gonna talk about it again when season 2 rolls around, where we talk about season 2. Yeah, I've watched season 2, and if you guys have seen my review on it, then yeah, you know how much I dislike that show. Fucking hate it. The other thing is that it's almost over. It is genuinely almost over. So I don't care. I don't care. They did say that it was going to be renewed for a third and final season, which I hope will comes out next year, so I don't have to talk about it any further. But yeah. You know, like this one looks good. The action is good. It's there to keep you entertained, but it's not something that's necessarily special about the show. What isn't also special is the characters. I gotta say, I think it's mainly because I know this is supposed to be mostly for the plot. I should probably say this for the plot, but I feel like it's mostly because I'm not familiar with Dota as a whole. It just feels like your generic fantasy world, and there's nothing wrong with that. There really isn't. This is a serviceable fantasy story. But I don't know, there's just nothing here to tell me it's Dota or like it's a video. Like there's nothing here. Which I don't know if I should commend or or condemn. Because like yeah, like it doesn't make me feel like I'm watching a video game being adapted. But then again, it feels like I'm just watching a show about normal fantasy things. It doesn't feel like I'm watching something like adapted, something that fans would get something out of, you know? Like I know, okay, there are characters here that show up within the games. I know that much, but some of them aren't even the same characters, and then sometimes they just change the lore in general with the show. Let's go over the characters. I for some reason have so many of them that it's just like, okay, bro, I just have so many of these guys. It's insane. Anyways, first up is Davion. He's a fine protagonist. I don't think Yuri Lowenthal's voice fits him all that much, but he's a fine protagonist. He struggles through being through having all that power and whatever the fuck. Again, it's been a long time since I've watched it. I am kinda tired. So I'm just gonna go to the page. Where is it? Where's the page for the show? Why is there so many fucking things I gotta go through, man? Right. There's only 3 episodes. There's only 8 episodes. There is nothing here. I'm just gonna go to Wikipedia. But like how he's has the power of the fucking of Slyrak, which is like a big dragon thing. And he's fine. He's just a fine protagonist. He feels very one note. That might be me just kind of thinking that he is. But I don't know. But yeah, no, Davion's fine. Davion's just a fine protagonist. He's just there. I don't know. There's not much there to say about Davion as a whole. He serves his purpose. I just don't think he's like the real meat on the bones of the show. He's there mostly to carry out the plot and have a character to follow. And someone just to be an outsider looking in and seeing what's going on here. And also with the Eldworms and him having like that connection with Slyrak. Which cool, I guess. But yeah, there's nothing much side to him. The character that really does the most is where the fuck is he? Where the fuck did it go? Marana. She has the most bearing on the plot. She's the one who finds Davion and recruits him to help her, and whatever. And she wants to prove herself because she was banished. To my knowledge, I think to my memory, she was banished from her land because to find the lotuses. And like she stumbles upon the whole like grand conspiracy that Selemene has to kill like the elves and shit. Like it's some weird. I'm not talking about in the plot, but yeah. Marana is a much better character than Davion, mainly because she actually has character. I don't know why I had so many characters put in here. I'm not gonna talk about a lot of them like that, but yeah, Marana is a lot more entertaining and a lot more interesting because like she has actual lore ties to what's going on with the plot, and there's a lot more going on with her like with her friendship with Marcy, with her ties to like her homeland or her god. And her being, I think she's supposed to be royalty. Like, having all of that and, like, combined with, like, what she has to do and the truth of her people and whatever. Like, yeah, like, it's a lot better of a character because she's just fucking more to work with than Davion does. And yeah, like that's really what Marana, like that's just the kind of like crux of Marana. I can't talk about much of them because, to be honest, this show is like not. It's like 4 hours. It's like less than 4 hours long. It's not a long show by any stretch of the imagination. You can watch this in a very very short amount of time. It's not a long show. Also, never mind. I look at it, and it says like Marana and Marcy take it upon themselves to leave the Night Silver Woods, which is where she lived, where they lived. So yeah, it's not that they were banished. I'm sorry, I'm spreading misinformation. I'm a LARPer for something I already fucking watched. But yeah, no, like just Marana's a much more interesting character. She's just a lot more going on. It's just like the show itself isn't the best thing ever. Like the writing isn't the best thing ever. So legitimately anything more than just her being a character that fights and like has some I don't know, like she has more stuff than Davion. And I feel like it would be a lot better if she was the main character and we didn't have to follow Davion at all. I know, again, I said Davion is there to be a middleman, but that's fine, and that's a serviceable thing. I just kind of want Davion to have more of a role. Either more of a role, or make Marana much more of a protagonist than she already is. Yeah, moving on to Marcy. Not much to say here in general. She is Marana's childhood friend. She's mute. And she is my favorite character of the series. Mainly because I just like mute characters. I think you can do a lot of you have to play a lot more of like expressions and shit, so you can't just willy-nilly do shit. You can't just like let that shit go and make a character. You have to make them more interesting. And I think Marcy does that for me, and I think one of the better types of meat characters here. And I think Marcia is a part of. I don't know. I just like meat characters a lot. And her being so expressive and shit, like, I think it just works better for the series. Moving on to an actual character that has some plot relevance, Fimrin. I don't think the show explains this, but like Fimrin's like the one with the second most importance in the plot overall. Fimrin is the one who steals the lotuses. I think I mentioned that earlier. I'm not sure. Like, she's the one that steals the lotuses, and the lotuses are needed so Salamine can revive or whatever the fuck. I kind of forgot. Trapped by Evoker, crossing the wind, recover a shadow. Yeah, whatever. Okay, I was right. I think. Where the fuck was I? Okay. Yeah, she steals that because there's a war going on between the Night Silver Woods people and like this elven group. I think they're called. I don't think they're called the elves. I'm just gonna call them elves because they have pointy ears. Codeway. They're called the Codeway, right? The Codeway. So it was between the Night Silver Woods and the Codeway. And they did to stop Salamandra from getting more power. Fimrin took the lotuses. Fimrin, I feel like they didn't explicitly say it, but I feel like she is either a reincarnation or I think it's mainly just a reincarnation of the Invoker, which is like one of the main villains, the Invoker. The Invoker's child, which is Philomena. I feel like she is. Fuck me, dude. She's the reincarnation of that child. And it's gonna be revealed later on. I haven't watched book 2 or book. I haven't watched the next 2 books because I'm gonna be waiting for that for that to get to be its time. But yeah, no. I feel like that's gonna be the big revelation. I don't think they said it then, but it's very, very much implied. And look, man, I don't care about spoilers for this show. I was spoiled. I'm watching this shit. This was supposed to come out in August of last year. We are in August of this year. So this was gonna be late anyways. It was gonna be 4 years after it released, and 3 years after it ended. Now it's 5 years after it released, and 4 years after it ended. Like, I don't care about this game, so if you guys want to spoil it in the comments, I won't mind unless someone else out here is doing the watch along with me, right? But yeah, Fimrin, that's one of my big beliefs, but honestly, Fimrin is also a very interesting character because we see how she wants to lead her people, to help them and to help end the war that's going on. And how she believes she's been chosen, and how much like she suffers at the hands of these of the Night Silver Woods people. And that's something I want to like at least get out of the way, at least here for the characterization. I'll talk about it here, but I like how there's a lot of nuance within the show, like itself. I like how there's a lot of nuance. Like, yes, the Night Silver Woods people kill a lot of the elves. What the fuck was that? A lot of the elves. But they're like, it's not that they're not bad. I don't know how to say this. I don't know. Like, but like their goddess isn't even like the biggest bad out there in like the mythos and in what's going on. Like, they have their own reasons for trying to do that. It's just a battle of two evils, and I like that a lot. Where you have to choose between the two. That's not something we see in the show proper. At least not now, but it's something I think they're setting up for the next few seasons. And if they're not, then it's just a missed opportunity. But yeah, I like Finrin a lot. Not a lot, but like as much as I can like a character from this show, from this season. Sorry. And like again, because she just has a lot of stuff. I think Finrin is like one of the better characters of this season overall. And yeah, no. I like how she and like Mirana interact, and a lot how Mirana doesn't really agree with the Nice of Woods like people in general. At least I think that's what it is. I'm not sure. Then there's the Invoker. The Invoker is, I think, my favorite character who can speak. Because he has just a lot of cool stuff. Like he has very sympathetic motives for doing what he's doing, and you think he's gonna be the good guy, but in reality he's a villain. He works for Terribly, which I'll talk about later because god damn it, that number one, that name sucks. And secondly, he is like the big bad here, and I think, I like the Invoker a lot. And I like how he plays into things. And I think the best episode of the show, at least currently, is the one where we see flashbacks of him with his daughter, Philomena, which I said Vimrin is probably the reincarnation of. So yeah, and for me, honestly, I have a really big problem with flashback episodes, and this one just didn't have that much of I didn't have much of a problem with. I think it's just handled better here because I just like the character a lot more. I like the character, and it's not interrupting the plot a lot. It's shit we need to know. It's not just in the middle of something interrupting the plot for no fucking reason. Acolyte. But yeah, no, I just like the Invoker a lot. Yeah, as a villain, as a character overall. I think he's a fun character. Next up is Luna. To be completely honest, I don't remember much of her at all. I think she becomes a little bit more important in the next few seasons. But she's supposed to be the general of Salamene, and she's very bloodthirsty and all that. I think she becomes much more important in later seasons. In my later seasons, I mean the next two. So yeah, there's not much there. But she looks cool, and I like her weapon, and then that's it. I think she's in actually 3 episodes, and she's barely in those episodes anyways. So yeah. Next up is Salamene, and to my knowledge, they did change some things about this character from the games. In the games, I'm pretty sure there's only one god, and that's, I think, Salamene. And she's supposed to be the... What the fuck? Fuck you, PlayStation. And she's supposed to be the good god, and just in general. But in this show's continuity, they split Mene and Salamene into two different gods. Salamene is the bad one, and Mene is the good one who may or may not have existed. I think that's it. But I like Salamene because you kind of think, oh, she's the bad guy, and then you kind of learn that she's like I said with Finrin, not with Finrin, but in the section with the Knights of the Woods, you learn that she has her motives for doing shit, for doing all the stuff that she's doing, and yeah, no, I think it's a lot better when villains are presented in this way. Not every villain needs to be this super sympathetic guy. I do like my villains that just are evil for the sake of being evil. I don't mind that. I really don't. But, there's also sometimes a time and place where you need villains or a little bit of nuance, or a little bit more. I feel like Salamene is is a good example of that, because leaves you thinking one way, goes in another, and it doesn't break the character at all. So yeah, I like it. What I can't say the same about is these next two characters, which I'll just lump together because they barely have any fucking screen time. It's Caden and Terrorblade. Caden is supposed to be like a big dragon slayer, and he shows up for 2 episodes, and all he wants to do is kill Davion because Slyrak is in him and whatever. He's fine. He just doesn't show up enough. He just doesn't show up enough for me to give a fuck about him. He looks cool, I guess, but that's really it. And Terrorblade, same shit. He's supposed to be like the big overarching bad guy, and he fucks shit up at the end of the season, and then that's it. Like, yes, at the beginning of like the show, they go like, "Oh, Terrorblade was like a chaos god or whatever the fuck," and he was there, and he fucked shit up, but they managed to contain him or whatever. I fucking forgot, man. I probably didn't even get that right. Like, Terrorblade was like, you don't fuck with Terrorblade, pretty much. So, yeah, it's just like, Terrorblade shows up, and then he's in, like, the first episode, killing a dragon. And then into the last one, trying to kill Davion. So, yeah. That's, like, what the fuck, no. Trying to kill everybody. I thought I was talking about Kaden, but no, it's Terrorblade. He tries to kill like one of the Eldworms, and then like the whole thing is like, oh, Slyrak doesn't want that to happen, so he sticks with Davion. But he's trying to kill Davion. He just kind of kills everybody. But yeah, that's really it for those characters. Let's move on to the plot. I have my problems with it a lot. I think I have a lot of problems with the plot, which do bring down the rating a lot. And that has to do with, I think, just the lore itself is just not very interesting. It's just like your general fantasy world thing, which is fine, but I don't know. I just don't vibe with general fantasy, you know. I'm just not like that. If you're gonna do general fantasy, have a little twist of it, like Delicious in Dungeon. Like, it does like the food and like eating monsters and all like that. That's cool. It's different. And here it's just kind of fantasy for the sake of having fantasy, you know. I don't know. I just don't like it. Not that I don't like it. I just don't prefer it. I'll watch it. I'm just not gonna be the biggest fan of it. I like my fantasy a little bit urban, a little bit different, you know? I don't know. That's just me. Another thing I don't really like, I think I mentioned it, it's just like, I don't know. Villains don't have a lot of screen time. A lot of the villains don't have like, all the things in general just don't have a lot of screen time. And I think my biggest problem with the show itself is the pacing. At least in the first half of the show. The pacing for the first half... it's too fast and introduces a lot of things that are important. But just kind of go through it. And it just kind of doesn't work. Like, a big thing of the show is like the relationship between Davion and Mirana, and how they grow to have like to love each other. It's done so quickly that it's just like, yeah, okay, bro. Okay, bro. It's just done so quickly that I just don't learn anything about the characters. And like, by the time like in episode 2, like these characters already care for each other, already like would die for each other. Like, no, like that's not how this works. You're supposed to build up to this. I don't know. It's just kind of done so quickly that I don't really care. I end up not really caring about these characters and like the lore, because there's just a lot being put on. But we sometimes, like, for some reason we just drag on unimportant shit, and like sometimes during the whole thing, during like the first two episodes, Davion loses all of his money, and because he was like robbed at the end, dropped at the end of the first episode, and he has to scrounge up money, and it's just not done anything. It's just to get Davion to do something. It's like a big example of me trying to fucking find shit to do with Davion, like Raditz trying to find shit to do with Davion. You just can't. You just let him do shit because you can't find a fucking interesting plot line to. You can't find an interesting plot line to save your fucking life. Like I don't know. That's just me. That's just what I'm seeing here. But yeah, no. It has a lot of pacing problems in the first half, just focusing on the wrong shit. Like, for example, also in the same episode, like Murata and Marcy find like a pendant that would let them find the tower of the Invoker, and that's it. That's it. They just find the pendant in some fucking pawn shop. It's like, okay, bro, I guess. I don't know. It's weird, and then it slows down for the last half, and the last half is actually paced like a fucking show. It's not just trying like, fast to get it over with. So like in like a lot of moments there are left to like breathe. Like you're finally left to breathe in and understand what you're seeing. It's insane that's not something that's like normal within the show itself, but I guess, bro. I guess. But yeah, just I don't know. I think even after 4 months, I don't have much to say. I was looking at the reviews for this show, and it was like 4 out of 10. Like it has like a 4. I guess I got 6. What the fuck was I just saying? It has like pretty good ratings. It's usually the highest rating it has is a 3.5 stars. Like that's not terrible. And like a lot of it is 3 stars and then 4 stars, and there's very little what I gave it. But I don't know. I just didn't click with it. I think that's really just it. I just didn't click with it. And guess what? That's fine. I'm gonna keep watching it, sure. And I've explained why it didn't click with me and the rating I gave it, But that's it. You don't like. It's not hard to just say that something just didn't click with you. I think sure. You can have these opinions and not say something like, oh, like this shit is dumb. Like, I don't know. I just didn't click with this show. Maybe it does for other people. These are the reasons why I just didn't click with it. The story is very meh. The pacing is off. They rush characterization. And that, like, there's a lot of stuff here that just doesn't feel right. Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't feel anything watching the show. That's really it. I just didn't feel anything. Like, cool. Oh, this shit's being introduced, and then it's like, fine. It's like, okay. I don't care. You didn't give me a reason to care about these characters or the lore because you didn't flesh it out enough. Because the show is criminally short. Shows, like, animated shows should not be 25 minutes each episode, and this season is 8 episodes. That shouldn't happen. It should be 12, like, at least. At least 12. For an animated show to have, like, 30-minute episodes. You don't do this shit. You don't do this. So, yeah. It's just okay. It's just okay. If you're a fan of Dota, maybe you like it more. If you're just a fan of fantasy in general, maybe you like it more. I don't think you even need to. I don't think you even need to be like a Dota fan to like this show. I feel like if you're just a fantasy fan, you'll like it enough. like a normal fantasy fan, I feel like you'll like it enough. But yeah, for me, not for me. So I'm gonna give it a C tier, 5 out of 10. Might seem a bit harsh, but I don't care. I actually don't give a fuck. Where, I guess here, right? Right, yeah. So, what did you guys think about Dota Dragon's Blood Book 1? Leave in the comments below. If you wanna give us your feedback, you can like the episode or rate us on Spotify, or just leave your thoughts in the comments. If you found this episode extremely boring and extremely non-coherent, non-cohesive, blame tiredness. It's 1 a.m. It's 1 a.m. If you want to stay up to date for content, you can subscribe on YouTube or follow us on Spotify. And if you want to follow us if you want to follow the people here on any of our socials, they are all in the description, including all of my review sites where you can see early reviews for a lot of stuff I'm going to talk about on the podcast or related to stuff I'm going to talk about on the podcast. So yeah, that's about it. See ya.